Everyone's hyped about altcoin season, but most folks and investors get it wrong. With the Fed rate cuts that just happened last week and ETFs nearing 90%, I want to say 95% completion, we'll talk a little bit about that today. And then the question isn't if XRP is going to run, really when, if you hold long enough, right? So if you're new to the channel, I talk about 3 points, 3 nuggets throughout my videos. And today, let's talk a little bit about altcoin season and then some of the Fed rate cuts and what that really means. And also my thoughts and my opinions on where we're going to go in general. And I'm not a financial advisor, right? So by all means, this is just my thoughts and my opinions. You can agree to disagree, but let's get into it. So the first point, let's talk about altcoin season and it being a distraction. So a lot of altcoins are running right now, and we're about in altcoin season is what I would say. It's not fully in there, but XRP's still stuck at resistance. Why is that? Still stuck between $3 and $3.20. I want to say it's $2.97 right now. It's a beautiful Sunday, but that's just where the resistance is at, right? We got to stay patient and we have to understand what's happening within the market and not chase those quick wins. Don't exit XRP too early. I've done this multiple times, and if you do have to exit, that's your choice, right? From my perspective, if you're investing, then it has to be at least, just thinking of it like it's stuck in there for 4 years, right? That's minimum 4 years. And then you've got anything lesser than that is considered a trade. I usually have 2 sets I trade for fun. This is just for fun. And then I'll review on Mondays too, the charts. Every Monday morning, I'll release that and see where we're at for the week with XRP and the overall market. I'll eventually get into the wider net of everything that happens between the market in general. But right now, I'm focused on a lot of XRP because I want to make sure that we cover those pieces before we get into a lot of the other investments that I have. But XRP is going to be the main investment that I'm looking for because there's just so much great activity and it's changing the whole financial infrastructure. So you want to be a part of that, right? And a lot of the right now smart money is just accumulating quietly. That I know I've said that multiple times, but I just don't want folks to get shaken out, right? That's within this season, and make sure that we're staying up to date with all of the news. And that's and talking point number 2, let's get into understanding what the Fed rate cuts do as far as liquidity wave, making sure that we actually are cautious what's happening right now. So what the Fed rate cuts, what does that really mean for us in general? Let me actually pull some of this information up so that way I have it handy right in front of me. So for the Fed rate cuts, what does that mean? We cut down 25 basis points and they're looking to actually cut 2 more by the end of the year. So it's pretty good. But we want to make sure that we understand what this means. There's still a very bad labor market. It's really weak. It's really rough out there too right now. So if you guys are out there looking for jobs, I know it's probably really rough in general. And it's just that my industry is not doing well. I think the whole market isn't doing well. For this, we've got a lot of return to work policies, and I think this is just a strategy to get people out to save costs on labor. So just be cautious on that. There's still a lot of upside when we hear some of these news, but it's not guaranteed, right? The markets are going to price a lot of this in already. So when we see it, it's already going to be priced in. To me, inflation's still elevated. So let's see. All we can do is just see and understand this. I'm already starting to see if with Robinhood, margins, lending, and then just overall interest rates are already cutting. So we're able to borrow money a lot cheaper. That's what it really means. And I do have a couple links in the description. If you guys want to get into Robinhood, it'll help the channel. Just use the link. And also BTCC, that's my crypto exchange that I use. So use the link below too. If you do want to get into some of the exchanges and trying to understand how those work. I advise you to use Robinhood. Robinhood has always been my staple. It's easy, user friendly. Just if you want to buy XRP, that's where you can buy. Also BTCC. Huge leverage trading on BTCC as well too. So if you do use that, please be careful. And we'll talk a little bit more about how I use that as well too in the future videos. So outside of that small plug, we've also got talking point number 3, which is the ETFs. And with all this good news, I was questioning too, why is XRP still flat? A lot of this, it's because we're still at resistance. And XRP is always a lagging indicator with what's going to happen. It did pump a little bit, but we're still sitting around 297 to 320. If you're trading, take your profit. I haven't taken my full profits yet. I'm still waiting to see if it's actually going to break above 330. Then I'll start considering taking some profits for my short-term plays. My long-term plays already started buying in before when it hit 275. Started dollar cost averaging in for some of those. So we've got a lot of great news. September 18th, we had the first ETF release, and then within the first minutes, it was of inflows, which is huge. Let me actually pull up some more of the information on that. So it was the Rex Osprey, ticker symbol XRPR. That was the first ETF, and then we've got a ton more. I think 5. I don't know, we'll say 5 that I'm looking at. That's going to release. So we've got the Franklin Templeton, Bitwise, Wisdom, and then we've got 21 shares and coin shares. So those are the ETFs that are still awaiting the SEC's decisions. Most have a deadline between the October 17th and 25th. So it could come earlier. But those are dates that we can look at. We've also got CME option that is for XRP and Solana on October 13th. So what does that mean for XRP and our ecosystem? That just the banks and then these firms are going to have to absorb XRP. They're going to need that to be 1-1, right? That means that they're going to be holding on at least I want to say 4% at least the first year. So XRP's price is going to go up. That's my opinion, my thoughts. I think that's going to help reach the $4, I want to say $4 range for a bullish scenario very shortly. So yeah, let's continue checking some of that stuff out for the ETFs and ensure that we are up to date around some of that's going on. Pretty excited for all of the news that's going on. Fundamentals, we're actually making some huge headways. I know it's going to take a bit, to level, stabilize as the asset goes. Yeah, that is all. If you guys enjoy this type of video, please subscribe, leave a comment. I accept all feedback as well too. So let me see if this works out good. Catch you guys in the next one.